Let us see here. Woo! What a beautiful Sunday already. On this beautiful journey of life. I'm actually going to my favorite place to go on a Sunday morning. So I'm gonna do at least, let me just say 15 to 16 miles before I get there. And that way I will just finish the last couple of miles by myself. It has been a wonderful journey so far. I just love it. I just love it. So yes, happy Sunday on this beautiful morning, shall I say. I cannot begin to be grateful enough this morning. So what is it going to be? Another beautiful day to come out and do another 26 miles meditative jog. So I think I'm on, what marathon am I on right now? Maybe about 17 or so. So yes, I have just been doing that, just relaxing the whole body. And like I have a ritual that I do every morning. I've been getting up still late, it's between 2:30 and 3. That's still late. So I'm looking forward to going back to my 2 a.m. 1:30. So that's what I'm actually putting it out there, 2 a.m. Plus, I don't like to disturb people, so I'm in a certain place right now where I don't want anyone to be awake when I get up that early. Because already, I think a lot of my friends that I've been around just look at me and shake their heads when I get up that early. Because I've just done that for so many years right now. Getting up in the middle of the night to meditate, do yoga, read, and start my day. It's just, I've done 365 days or more than 365 days of just push-ups, yoga, push-ups, and the part of the brain that actually opens up, it's just actually amazing. So now I feel like when I'm talking to certain individuals, we're speaking a different language, because a lot of us have forgotten the potential of the body, the brain, the mind, and how it operates. So when we practice lazy mind, and some people practice not so much lazy mind. The lazy mind just love it when there's too many people and we argue over stuff. But the truth is, as a human being, we are just this unique stuff. It's really funny how I get treated in different communities. When I'm among my Indian friends, I'm treated like a stage, like a spiritual student with a lot of respect. Wow. It's really funny. This is what happened when I was with my Indian friends. Wow. The greetings, the just humbleness. Then when I'm with my Chinese or Asian friends who practice stuff like Buddhism, is almost like, wow, the humbleness that I get, the welcoming, the greetings absolutely just blew me away. Because I'm saying to myself, why is it that this culture right here, they see certain things, then when I'm with the elite Kenyan runners, wow, the way they just embrace. And I begin to realize it's all about spiritual discipline, whatever you do, the discipline. But when I'm when I first started out with my own cultural tribe, when I'm with Nigerians, full-blooded Nigerian like myself, I'm looked upon like, what's wrong with you? Because that spiritual discipline has been taken away. Then when I'm with my black friends, black American friends, shall I say, it's the same thing. Then also with my white friends, it's truly the same thing. That, what's wrong with you? You're just weird. And I begin to realize it isn't about the race. I think it's about cultural upbringing. Because it's really, really funny how when I meet an Indian descent, all I have to do is just bow and they look in my eye. They're like, wow, you remind me of so monk. Or if I'm with my Chinese friend and they say this, and I begin to just realize that, wow, the Eastern philosophy has really, really changed the way I think. For years I've studied. It really took me out of my own delusion. And what has become that I've also noticed a lot is our culture here, whether it's in the Nigerian culture too, and not everybody, because if I judge everyone, or say everyone does that, no, but in the balance pattern is pretty much we love the talking. We love to act. We talk discipline, but don't live discipline. And that's why sometimes we use an excuse like we are all human, the flesh is weak. And I get that part. But the flesh is not that weak to do the same thing over and over again. That after like the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 time, that is just completely knowing, but don't give a biscuit. Yeah. Then there's also the aspect of what we call mental disturbances. And the key to mental illness is the ability to recognize it. Because we go through certain voices in our head, and it's usually two. But because we are not taught to slow down our minds, and we are bombarded with, you gotta be positive. Just give your life to this and everything be okay. So when we hear a voice that is not what most of our peers pretend to dance to, we lose our mind. And that's just it. We lose our mind. Because not hearing that voice that everyone pretends to dance to, we just lose our mind. It's really funny when people come up to me and say, yeah, I'm a believer. I laugh because to be a believer, trust me, requires discipline. And that's one of the reasons why I picked up different chapters that rose with my life, because the whole thing with spiritual discipline, and now especially when I look at it, I'm like, man, I wish I wasn't into my own ignorance when I lived in Africa, because those days I was into my own ego. I didn't think I can learn anything from the Africans, let alone anyone that's a primitive individual. Because I've always looked at it to be, I just can't learn anything from these people.
Good morning.
Morning, madam.
Old lady.
Who told you you're old lady? Somebody's lying to you. Let me know who is lying. See, look, the old lady. Have a great day. Yeah, so, so who, and I used to just look and not take the whole anything Afrocentric or discipline very serious. But now when I look at it, I just laugh so much, because the one thing that many of us has adopted, and I wouldn't say it's because you're an American or you're African, no. The one thing that many has adopted is the ego, with the ability to think that, we never want to learn. Even when we see people, I was having a conversation with a young man the other day. It never fails me. A guy stopped me and told him I've been running a marathon a day, and he just had to ask me, do I believe Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior? And I was like, every time someone asks me that question, what does it mean? And a lot of time, it's beginning to mean two things to me. It's either you don't believe yourself, so misery loves company, and in the essence, it's almost racist to me. Because basically what you're telling me is, at the end of the day, if you don't see Christ as your Lord and Savior, you and I do not have something in common. And it never failed me. Anytime I meet somebody who claim to be a religious person, the moment I just said I cannot answer that question, even though we talk, I never hear back from them anymore. Because the fact that I did not say yes or no, many do not know how to deal with it. And I begin to wonder that, why can't we just see each other and just say hello and stop asking all that basic question? Good morning. I'm alright. About yourself? Stop asking all this question, because I've met people who can barely read ask me the same thing, and they will claim. And what it started to do, it makes you just want to get out of that element and be like, what the biscuit is happening here? I look around me these days. A lady yesterday was talking to another young lady, saying, guess how old I am? So I was literally thinking she's going to say 50 or 45 or 58. When she told me 38, my jaw dropped. Oh, wow, she's 38 years old. And due to the fact that she doesn't know, she looks like she can be my mom, and I'm almost 12 years older than her. If not 18 years older than her. Yeah, maybe like 14 or so, 16. So it kind of just made me just laugh a lot. I was running one day and this big, beautiful sister chased me. And she come up to me, yeah, come to our churches. Give your life to Christ. So I was standing there, and the word that wanted to come out of my mouth, I just didn't even know what to say. I wanted to ask her, don't you think that starts from within? Because let me stop over here. How we eliminate diet out of our spiritual practice, that just overwhelmed me. And I'm going to keep on saying it. How we eliminate diet out of our spiritual practice overwhelmed me. Absolutely amazing. I cannot even believe it. It just made me just laugh myself to sleep, and amazing how that thing occurs, to the extent that, and I'm saying it because everyone on the Sunday, wow, we we just, I don't even know what to say, man. On the Sundays is the most segregation days that I've ever known, especially here, being in Georgia. Sundays are segregation days because we all go to our own churches. It's like we separate from the equal opportunity that we preach about every day. See a Nigerian go to their Nigerian churches, Kenyans does that, African churches, white churches, black churches. It's really funny how all these churches never even thought that, you know what, Reverend, we're going to go to different churches for a whole year and worship with different communities in different churches. We never do that. But it's just so funny how we put on this post, Black Lives Matters, let's stop racism. But the truth is that segregation needs to stop. It needs to actually stop from Sundays. Because we all have nice cars, no excuses. We don't have to always go to our churches. It really cracks me up how every day we say, yeah, believe in the Lord, believe in the Lord. But a Nigerian don't even know what it feels like to go into a Black American church. Yeah. Most Black Americans don't even know what it feels like to go to a Nigerian church. So it's the white Americans. But yeah, everybody will say, the Lord. And when we begin to look at it that way, it's like, wow, because every time we step out of our own culture, because we always want to talk about Christ this, Christ that. I truly hope some of the preachers can see this, because when are different churches going to begin to go to different churches and experience? And I also think our preachers and whatever it is need to stop telling their students, all this bringing someone to the ministry is nothing but a bunch of, I don't know. Because the way I look at it, most religious people never even read their own book. I studied that from back to back. But yeah, they will sit down there and argue with you, and based on one condition. It is the fact that he has an African background and I'm better than him. Plain simple. But the thing is, they've never read their own book. They will argue with you. Most people don't even know what it feels like to step out of their own culture or their own spiritual beliefs. So when I see all that saying Black Lives Matter, he has to start with the churches, like I said. Instead of going to your church every day, why don't you start do a 6-month tour of going to churches from different backgrounds? And not being able to do that is a sign of fear. And I'm just saying this because we are always talking about the Lord, but yeah, on a Sunday, we embedded in our segregation attitude. But yeah, we want to scream in God I trust or whatever it is. So, and I just think it's just that time, even though all the leaders, all the preachers, how by exchanging with different preachers from different background, let me preach in your church today, let me preach in your church today. And we all do that. Because if we want to be in that new age, we want to spread the gospel, like everyone always claims, it is time that we all preach in different places, go to different places. Because at the end of the day, the way I look at it, you're still practicing racism and segregation. So all that talk, it's just keep quiet. That's just the way I look at it. And it's just really funny because how you get to think. And I'm saying everyone should actually think about this, sit down and think about it. And what's even so funny is because the way we've defined, oh yeah, he's a runner, he's this. But for someone to actually be on their feet and be talking like this, it's almost like, But the thing is, everything is done around the churches. How about the churches started taking responsibility? And that includes the diet, that includes the stepping out and going to different places. Because according to the preaching of Christ, it wasn't just stuck in somewhere. So, and if the way Christianity has spread about, maybe it's time we start spreading it in our community here. Instead of just going to one church only and not experiencing other churches and communicating. So I'm just saying, that's how we save lives. That's how we all become one. Because we always leave it to all these leaders' hand. Because how can you preach love when you cannot even step out of your own congregation? How can you preach love when you cannot leave your own congregation and go to another preacher? And most people can't even step out of their own religion just to go and worship with another person. But yet we want to sit around there and put in some bills and say we're spreading love. You truly want to spread love? Walk in other people's faith also. Check around. Because that's what love is all about, checking around. And I know this video will probably get ignored because it's like, man, who is he to be talking about that? But hey, somebody has to put it out there. It's that energy. That energy. That energy. When it comes to this thing called spirituality, I've walked into a lot of places. But I'm not going to say names. What other places... I'm just going to say, what the churches has in common is they're very close-minded. Yes, it's all about joining and not going on anywhere else. That right there, we need to stop being close-minded. When we begin to open our hearts to every community, preaching in different places, you'll be really amazed how much you can learn, because every time you go and see the same preacher preach over and over and over, it just becomes an attitude of, let's just go hear him and we'll pretend. But when you have different preachers, different people coming into your churches and you go to other churches, it is really, really amazing. So that's what I'm thinking of today. I truly wish a lot of people would just actually just listen to this, and we need to stop the segregation. It's just too much on a Sunday. Absolutely amazing. That's why I don't want to hear it when people say, do you believe in the Lord? I'm like, to the biscuit. You can't even step and go in the hood and pray. He want to ask me if I believe, to the biscuit. So yes, that's what I'm thinking of on this 26-mile meditative jog this morning, because I'm like, to the biscuit. Can't even go to a church in the West End and you live up here in Sandy Plains. You want to ask me if I believe in the Lord. To the biscuit with that. So, happy Sunday. Let's spread that love, through different cultures, whatever it is you want to call yourself. And one love.